Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Angie.
And together we are TwinFinity.
We are twin flames in union, back to do another question and answer video. It's been quite a while since we've done one of these. December? I think just before Christmas was our last question and answer. It was our last video before we just did this one, isn't it? Wasn't it?
I really can't remember. I would have thought it would have been just early in January. But this is early February and it seems like a lot longer since then. So yeah, I'm going to have to go back to December.
Okay. We don't even know when we did our last question and answer.
Yeah.
I think it was just before Christmas.
There's a lot of other people who are going to know this answer way better than we know it. We can't even answer when we last did one of these. Oh no.
No. We're out of practice too on question and answers, so this could be fun.
Well, and also this one's going to be especially challenging. I actually had to read some of these questions because a lot of these questions are actually stories with embedded questions. And the story was way too long to read, so we had to get together and edit some of this down so that we could keep it to just a question. The majority of them anyway. So yeah, this was longer questions that we've been tiptoeing around and decided to finally do something to meet them head on. It's one of my favorite sayings.
Funny. And because it's February, we had to have an extra little prettiness up at our mantle. It's a new heart that, believe it or not, I just bought at the grocery store on Sunday.
Yes. Yep. Saturday, Friday, Sunday? No, couldn't have been Sunday.
No wonder we don't know when we did our last question.
We don't even know when.
We're pathetic.
This could be a really good one.
Oh, God.
I've had myself a real in my face 3D kind of day, and now I'm attempting to do a video in the evening. I usually do survive this, but this is going to be interesting. Extra tasty, crispy, interesting to see how well this goes for me.
Now, can I just tell a little story about my little glowing heart up there?
Yeah.
Who cares when we bought it? We just bought it. It was at the grocery store, and I loved it, and it was a whole $10, and I was like, I must have this. And we just sort of made it work tonight. It wasn't going to work because it just screamed glowing. You couldn't even see the heart. But Rob had this brilliant idea and actually used a grocery bag, a black grocery bag.
Black grocery bag.
Behind it.
This is kind of what they do in the movies. You know, they take a black cloth to make a backdrop. Then they can put whatever else they want on it. But all we had to do was just knock down some of the glare, or else it would have just been a glob of light.
Yes.
So, yeah. Well, okay, I saw it in the movies.
So I'm super excited. New heart. Happy. Anyway, now that we've 3 minutes into the video and all we've talked about is my glowing heart, we should probably get to the point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or at least the first point.
Yeah.
First question. The first question is about manifesting. We say that we should manifest what we are wishing for, etc. So let's assume I want to manifest my twin into my life, being together, etc., etc. But what if my twin is not the one? What if I am obsessed and I am focusing on the wrong thing? That is not for me, and thus I am blocking the true path. I mean, how can we manifest, but at the same time be open for whatever gifts the universe may want to bring us? How are we letting go of obsession when at the same time we are manifesting a life with this person? And how is this not an interference to his karmic relationship / marriage? See, this is what I mean. We got a lot of questions inside of one question. This is actually fun to deal with. I love breaking stuff down.
Okay, so now that's the whole thing, right? We read it all?
That was the whole thing.
Okay.
That was our whole
abbreviated version.
Edited version of whole thing. Evidently I can't talk tonight, but that's secondary.
Yeah.
I want to go right back to one of these things here where it says, but what if my twin is not the one? What if I'm obsessing and focusing on the wrong thing? Well, is your twin your twin, or is your twin not your twin? This sparked a little bit of interest with the thought that if you're not clear if the person you are dealing with is your twin or not your twin, then how hard do you want to be manifesting? But then again, if you've got someone that is so good in your life that they appear, even if you're not totally sure if they're your twin, but they appear to be almost a twin, that's pretty darn good too. Not encouraging everybody to go running after what appears to be their twin, maybe or maybe not. Really, if you can find your true twin and validate that, that would be better. But this is about manifesting, and a person has to choose whether or not they want to manifest or not.
Or not.
Or not. So whether you really have your twin in your sights or whether you've got something that is really close to being your twin in your sights, you've got to decide whether you want to manifest. That's kind of a drop dead starting point.
Okay.
Without dropping dead.
I'm going to go on a little different perspective on this.
Okay.
The thing about manifesting, we often say one of the first steps is get very clear on what you want. So you're thinking like, okay, well, if I'm getting clear on what I want, what if what I want isn't this person and I decide that this is the person I want to be with, and then I realize, oh, maybe it's not the person I want to be with. Maybe it's not even my twin. So here's how I manifest. I get very clear on what I want, but I also keep options open for the universe. I'm not so hell-bent on this specific person, thing, whatever it is that I'm wanting to draw to me.
That comes as to part of the next part of the questions. It says, how can we manifest but at the same time be open for whatever gifts the universe may want to bring us? Sometimes the universe is going to give you the gift of clarity. So I would not be afraid of manifesting, because gifts from the universe are going to appear in the form that they're supposed to, whether your manifesting is in parallel with those gifts from the universe or is completely diametrically opposed. The gifts from the universe are going to show up as the gift. It's almost like the gifts from the universe are like a trump card. They can sometimes get in the way of what you really wanted to manifest. But if you recognize the gift, that also would probably change or validate, either way, your manifestation.
And what I would do is, instead of being specific when you're either writing, thinking, however you like to manifest, instead of specifically thinking of this person, think of the energy that you want, the love that you want to create, the fun, whatever that is. So think of more the feelings that you want than a specific person. And what I always say when I'm manifesting is, thank you, universe, for bringing this or something better to me. Because I might be manifesting in a restricted ego, and I don't mean ego as in like I'm so great kind of thing, but more the ego is in like the 3D aspect where I can't see the grander version of what it is that I'm trying to create. So I always try to leave it open to allow the universe to bring to me what is for my highest and best. And I often say that in my manifestations too. This or something better that is for my highest and greatest good. So that way you leave it open, and then you're not so worried of, well, what if this isn't my twin flame? Or even, what if it is my twin flame, but it's not what he wants or what she wants? Then you leave it open for the universe to draw to you whatever you are magnetically creating energetically, but not so detailed that it's got to be one specific person. Hopefully that makes sense.
And another, okay. Did you want to say something else?
I always leave notes on the side, and then when we start the video, I'm like, what did I think of? This is why I'm not so good at doing live question answers, maybe, because I have all these thoughts, and then we get to the video, and I'm like, I have to read my notes because I forget what I just thought of. Yes, that's right. When you're coming from a place of manifesting, what I like to do is do it from a soul connection. So I feel into it rather than what my ego side wants. It's more what my soul desires, because then it's an inner knowing. It's an inner feeling that this is what I truly desire. So when you come from that place, you feel it. You just know it. It's not like, well, is this the right thing? Is it not? It's like It's this solid inner knowing that, yes, this is it. And then also, you are open to allowing whatever is because you trust the divine timing. That, again, is part of the soul creation aspect of it, is when you're not coming from the ego, when you're coming from the soul, you just trust that it'll come to you when it's supposed to come to you. You're able to just let it go, surrender it, and know that the universe really does have your back, and it will bring whatever is right for you in the right time. Why? Because the universe is you, and you are the universe. When you come from that place and know that you are connected with everything and everything is connected to you, you can just trust that it's all going to flow as it's supposed to. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just a quick little example. Many, many years ago, in fact, way back in 1997, it's in my journal, I was manifesting a Beetle. One of those Volkswagen Beetles. I used to love them. Always, always wanted one. And many years later, like 2000 and... I can't even remember when I got my Yaris. 2007, 8, somewhere in there.
2008 or 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I test drove a Volkswagen Beetle, the same color that I was manifesting, a yellow one. So all these years later, finally I had the finances and it was time that I could buy one. Test drove it. Quite frankly, I did not like it at all. It was tinny. No offense if any of you have one. Maybe you love it. It just didn't work for me. It didn't feel right. I didn't like it at all. Test drove a Yaris, fell in love with it instantly. And it's funny we're talking about my Yaris again. We just did a video last week and I was telling how much I love my Yaris. I still love my Yaris all these years later. It's still the same car. I've had it since like 2008. I love my car. Is it what I was manifesting? No, but it was in the sense that it was the feeling that I wanted. I wanted a car that I fit in because I'm small. I don't fit in a lot of cars. They're big and I can't see out of them. My Yaris, it's like it was made for me. So when I let go of the specific, it's got to be a yellow Beetle, and I ended up with a white Yaris, it's even more divinely perfect for me than my Beetle was. So when you just allow the universe to bring you what is right for you and in the right timing, it's amazing what unfolds.
And it's amazing how perspective works too, because I've had a lot of people tell me that Yarises are too tinny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And I don't find mine tinny at all, but go off the Beetle, it just did not work for me.
Oh.
Now there was more to this question?
More to this question. I'm going to go to the last sentence. And when it comes to the manifesting, how is this not an interference into his karmic relationship, I got it right, / marriage? I don't really know if I would consider this to be an interference, because if this person breaks away from their existing relationship, chances are real good it's of their own doing. Maybe they have a higher permission because they know that you're there, but still ultimately it's up to them on a 5D and a 3D level to make their decisions. So when they've made their decisions and they become available to you, that is way beyond anything to do with interference. That is them following their path.
Yes, exactly. And that's where I was going to go back up to the previous parts of the question. What if this isn't my twin? Well, if it's your twin, then eventually they will most likely not be with their karmic partner, because if they're a twin flame, the karmic partner's whole divine purpose in a higher realm is to prepare them for the twin flame relationship. It helps them clear out their karma, hence why karmic partner, right? That's the whole part of that relationship, is to help them release all their karma, help them find their balance, help them grow to the level needed so that they have wholeness enough to come into union with you as their twin flame. So if they're not their twin, if it's not your twin flame, well, that's okay. Then it just means you're working on manifesting another divine relationship, even if it's not them. That is totally fine. If it is them and they truly are your twin flame, then again, part of their path is to be with you, so you are not interfering and manifesting something against somebody else's will by breaking up their marriage or anything like that, because it's all divinely contracted in the higher realms that this other person that they are with currently will eventually let them go, or their relationship will break up because they are meant to be with you. And that's the important thing to remember about manifesting, is it's so much about 5D. When we understand the 5D and we understand we are all one, we are all connected, that is how we manifest, is when we know, much like I said before, you are the universe and the universe is you. So when you're in alignment with the energy of what it is you desire, you bring it to you, because like energy attracts like energy. So it's all about remembering the 5D aspects and letting go of the 3D logical ego kind of things and connecting in that higher realm. That's truly how we manifest. And then we always manifest whatever it is we want, or something better. It's always better than what we expect. Any manifestation I've ever had has always been more than what I manifested. Might not be what I thought I wanted, but it always turns out to be better. So just put the energy out there and then let it go, and just allow it to come to you in its right time. And know that it will, because you are it and it is you. Do you have anything else to add in your 3D? People relate more to you because you're the 3D person, and I get too out there and people are like, what?
No, I'm okay.
They always
I'm
love
okay.
your 3D perspective.
Sometimes my 3D perspective is a little harsh, but
No, it's good. I'm too multi-dimensional for some people.
I already throw in my 2 cents in regards to that. I think I'm okay.
Okay, so let's answer her second question.
When a twin behaves in a way that does not show love, or is not as much love as you may wish for, how do you know you are not just obsessing, and that they truly love you and they can't show it due to other reasons? I mean, how can you stay positive? Not give in to insecurity and ego? Especially when the people around you think you're completely crazy. That's not the word, but that's the word I'm going to put in.
I love that
And
word.
just obsessing about someone who does not give a bleep, or just uses you. You're looking to me to start the answer to that question.
I am. You go.
Okay.
You always have the brilliant answers that people are just wowed by.
When a twin behaves in a way that does not show love, or as much love as you may wish for. Expectations. This is one of the biggest problems with the entire twin flame journey, is the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
You expect that after a certain amount of time and certain amount of energy, that a person is going to show a certain amount of connection and a certain amount of love. That is very, very much expectations. And expectations, boy, just like going on a vacation, you get yourself all wound up with all these great expectations, and you show up there and it's raining instead of sunny, or tickets are $100 instead of $50, or you sometimes set yourself up with too high of expectations, as opposed to just showing up and enjoying the moment. Boy, we're back to that again, and just enjoying the moment. Or how do you know you're not obsessing, and that
That's exactly where I was just going to go.
He truly loves you, and you just can't let it show due to other reasons? You're guessing. Because if you either know the other reasons or you don't, and if you completely understand your twin's other reasons for not being able to show affection, just to throw a word out there, then you wouldn't be worried about it, because you would understand what's going on.
I was going to just add to that about obsessing that he truly loves you and can't show it. When you're obsessing, where are you? In the ego, in the logical mind, in the insecurity, in the doubt, in the fear. When you just know, where are you? You're in the soul. You're in the 5D. You're in the trusting, the believing, the deep knowing. When you're doubting, you're up here. When you're knowing, You're feeling it in your heart. So I'm sorry, we're barely into the video, and I'm going to say it. Actually, we're 20 minutes into the video already. So much for a short video. We're on our second question. We're trying to make these shorter. When you know you're in your soul, your heart, you feel it, you know it, with deeper rather than logic. So get out of the head a little bit more and get into the heart. Forget about what other people are saying, because how many times have we all said people that aren't on this journey can't understand it? They can't, because it's an inner connection. And if you're not living that connection, you don't get it. But you get it because you feel it. You don't know the connection, you feel the connection. So stop trying to know it and feel it, because that's where you know what you have with them, is in the feelings. It's in your heart, it's in your soul. It's deep, deep, deep within you. And then you won't doubt and you won't obsess, because you'll trust. Yes?
How can you stay positive? First of all, something that I've really also noticed is that a lot of twin flames, when they're struggling with trying to get together with their twin, it's all that they have in their life. They allow one thing in their life to determine whether or not they're happy or not happy, or whether they're positive or not. When life has got many, many influences. And if you put all your positive eggs into one basket and that basket isn't turning out, you're left with negativity. If you build many aspects of your life, if you work on yourself to improve in many areas, and then one or two of them let you down because, let's say, a manifestation is just not working out right, or a twin flame issue is not working out right, you still have many other aspects of your life that you've worked on. So how do you stay positive? Stay positive by focusing on the bigger picture of what life is all about, as opposed to getting caught and snagged on just certain aspects of it, to the point where one of them can bring you down. How do you not give in to insecurity and ego?
Practice.
Practice. Boy, and that's a hard one. I think that gets most of us at some point.
A lot, yeah. Just quickly off the top of my head, some of the tools that I still use to stay out of ego and in my deep knowing. Reminders. I have reminders in my phone for all sorts of things. I'm really, what's the right word? Passionate about manifesting. Not so much, for material stuff, but because we are co-creators. So everything we think, speak, do, all of it is creating. So I have reminders in my phone that go off several times a day that ask myself, what am I can't even remember what it says, but I'm going to read it to you right now. You talk while I find it.
Right. I was going to talk about the word insecurity. Insecurity,
you'd think I'd know this.
is the questioning of something that is a belief.
Oh, there we go.
If you don't 100% believe in what you are thinking, you then leave room for doubt. Doubt equating to insecurity. So if you can find and stay within your truth, even if your truth is, again, picking on you, maybe not totally cooperating, if it still is your truth, you can avoid the insecurity and just go on with the knowledge that sometimes your truth can manifest itself in many different ways.
Okay, I found it, and I'm glad I actually found it, because I'm going to show you different things that are in my phone. I hope this shows up.
Oh, that's not going to show up.
Oh, maybe not. That's too bad. I wonder if I go... No. Okay, so at 7 a.m. I have think, speak, and act on purpose. So in other words, with intention. At 12 I have infuse my food with love. That's a whole nother story. 2 again is think, speak, and act on purpose. And at 4 o'clock is what am I manifesting right now? So I have reminders. Oh, and then 7 p.m. is think and act and speak on purpose again. So all day long, I am challenging myself. Get out of your ego, get into your heart. Get out of your thoughts, get into your soul. What am I thinking? I'm constantly reminding myself. So that is another way that you can practice, right? Put stickies on your mirror, put things on your car if you drive a lot, put little notes. I have a sticky on my water cup because I drink a lot of water that reminds me to infuse my water with love and gratitude before I drink it. Just everything that you can think of to help you stay in alignment with what you do want and out of alignment with what you don't want.
Gratitude is a big word. That's another way of staying positive, is to focus on your gratitudes. The things, be it either actions or gifts or things somebody else has done or something you have done or capabilities that you have that are a blessing. Things that you didn't necessarily do yourself or have yourself. They just turned out more positive than you'd expect. That's another way of staying positive. Focus on your gratitude.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Another portion here, especially when the people around you think you're completely, well, the word is bullocks, but we'll call it crazy.
I love that.
I believe that bullocks is a English, as in British term. Yeah, I throw an English accent on that in my mind, and I think, yeah, that's about where that word would come from. Someone may correct me on that. That's my guess for the night.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant.
When people around you think you are completely crazy. If you're on this path, approximately 97% of the people around you are going to think that you're crazy. Not very many people understand this path. It does help.
True.
It does help if you have like-minded individuals around you, but they're also very hard to find. Most of the time, people have troubles finding other people who are on the twin flame journey, so they have a chance to actually understand each other when they communicate. If you're on your own out there, yeah, there's going to be a bunch of people that think that you're crazy. Again, though, you got to have faith in the journey that you're on.
And faith in yourself, which is so much of what this journey is, right? Is trusting ourselves, no matter what the outside is reflecting to us, learning to connect on the inside and go, that is my truth, no matter what everybody else out there is saying. And yes, it's not easy. We've been there. We certainly understand. But that's very much a part of the journey, is learning to listen to our own feelings, thoughts, beliefs, guidance, and trust them rather than what we see outside of us. Practice. Constant practice.
Next question.
Sure.
I have the clipboard balanced on your knee.
Yes,
I'm going to take the clipboard back.
Well done. Well done.
What we were talking about there almost is just linked through. The first question went to the second question links through to the third. Question number 3 is, I have been following you two and checking in on your progress over the past year. We're being rated. Yay! It is now January 2019. Rob, how long...
It's February now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, the question's January.
Yes, it was.
We're February.
Yes.
We're either a little ahead of time or a little behind time, depending upon how you look at it. There's this time thing. No wonder divinity gave up on time. It's way too confusing. Rob, how long did it take you to take that next step and acknowledge Angie as your divine half? The texting that you were doing seemed to take forever. What made you decide it was now or never? Well, let's back this up a little bit. Let's go back earlier in our story and very, very briefly recap that I had always acknowledged that there was something special about our relationship. I took that information and tucked it away in a little compartment because I knew I was going to believe that. I wasn't going to be worried about insecurity. There's that word, insecurity. Mm-hmm. I was going to believe that we had a special relationship, even if we were never in touch again. 1998, 1999 roll along, and we're going into less and less communication.
Right.
But that can't be taken away from me. I believe that to the depth of my soul. Okay. So how long did it take me to take that next step and acknowledge Angie as your divine half? Angie set me up with a question in 2014, just before November 2014, where she asked me whether or not, if she had something that could explain our relationship, would I want to hear it? Well, I had always acknowledged our relationship without question, and now she had an explanation for it, she thought. I trusted her judgment. That's another thing that was an absolute in my life. I trust a lot of my friends in their judgment. I kind of wear my trust on my sleeve. People wear their heart on their sleeve. I wear my trust on my sleeve. People have got a... People take the chance with trust. And if they trip and fall over it, I don't burn them the first time. There's always a bridge back. But anyway, I digress. So then Angie explains some of the very basics of twin flameism. Some of the basics of twin flameism to me. And it makes sense. It connects a bunch of dots in my mind. It explains many things that I had the answer, but I didn't have the right question. Twin flameism brought the question and the answer into something that felt right. And so it took me, sorry to say it this way, it took me about 15 minutes to embrace this as a truth that I could believe in. And then a bunch more education later was cross-checking and double-checking and just reinforcing that knowledge. But it took me just a matter of minutes after Angie explained things to me to accept that Angie was my divine half.
Except I was your divine whole.
We were our divine
Just
wholeness.
gonna say.
Yes.
I'm not a half.
No.
Neither are you.
So, yeah, it didn't take very long at all because I already had the questions. I already had the knowledge. And I also believed in it to begin with. I had my own feelings, my own understandings that allowed me to not over-question and not overanalyze. I was already down a road of acceptance of something that I didn't understand. Angie's explanations, I suppose, put the language to that understanding. It turned it from a feeling to an understanding. Very, very quick transformation. Now, what I was going to do with all that information was, and all that reinforcement, was still very confusing to me. That took many weeks to figure out what was next and how things would eventually come around, and that would be just for an opportunity to allow this information to actually become reality again.
Now, are you going to read the rest? Because I think that's...
This
kind
right
of,
here?
Well, this part, starting from there, because that's kind of...
I actually did.
Okay. Because that's what they're really looking for, is all the previous, before I told you we were twin flames.
Right.
We were texting, and then you'd not communicate for a while.
See, the texting just opened up lines of communication. I didn't read too much into all the texting before you asked me if I wanted an explanation.
I know,
as to
but
a
we'd
relationship.
communicate, and as soon as it got a little bit intimate,
Yeah.
you would pull away, and all I was allowed to talk about was license plates.
Well, yeah.
As far as the communication was allowed to go, I kind of learned my
No.
boundaries without them being said verbally. That's where she's stuck at, is she's texting, and then she has to wait because he doesn't respond. And I've been there, and it's annoying as hell. And you're like, what? What? So can I give my perspective? Even though the question wasn't for me?
One more just quick little blurb.
Sure.
I think without having them defined, I think what I had was boundaries as to where our communication really could and couldn't go. It had hurt very much losing you, and I didn't want to go down that road again, so I wasn't going to go down the road of deeper connection.
Got
So
it.
every time we ended up in even a little smidge of deeper connection conversation, it was like, nope, 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 not that road. License plates, thank you very much. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Birthday, thank you. Your turn.
Okay, so from my perspective, here's what I learned. When I would text him and it would take him like a week, 3 weeks, a month, however long to respond, I'd be like sitting on pins and needles waiting for a text and going, waiting and waiting, checking my phone. I mean, seriously, it was that bad. It really was. And finally, weeks would go by and I'd be like, okay, he's not going to respond. Okay, I've lost him. Okay, whatever. And I would finally let go. And as soon, I mean, it got to the point where it was so obvious. As soon as I would let go, poof, text, right then, right there. It was just like the weirdest, neatest synchronicity that I started to become aware of this pattern, that as soon as I'd let go, he would come back. So what was happening in the higher energies is he was reading my energy. The more my energy was like, please text me, I want to hear from you, and more it was like clingy and graspy and pulling and needy, the more he would go, nope, not going there. When I'd finally let go, even though he wasn't consciously aware or consciously feeling the energy, on a higher level, he was very aware. And as soon as I let go and didn't have that needy, clingy, pulling energy, he was able to then get through and go, okay, I can respond now. So that may be what's happening with your twin. If you're like pulling too much, needing too much, having expectations, having too much, God, I need this, then they're going to resist. Rob and I were kind of talking about some of these questions before we started, and I just had this thing come to me, and I'm going to kind of show you because this is how it just popped into my head. It's very much like a balance scale. If you're way up here and you're like, I need you, I need you, I need you, your twin's got to be down here because it's the scale, right? So if you're way, way up.
There's a midline.
Exactly. So when you finally come here, they can come there. So it's that scale. So watch your energy. Become aware of what your energy is doing. When you're out of balance, your twin is going to be out of balance in the opposite direction to create balance between you two. So if you have balance within you, they will reflect balance back to you in their own way by then responding. If you're out of balance, desperately needing a response, they're going to pull away. If you're in surrender and going, he'll respond when he responds, or she'll respond when she responds, then they can go, okay, I don't feel that pull. It just feels open and easy and flowing. And then things will flow.
I'm going to throw this in. This is going to be a Rob tangent.
Okay.
Your talk about balance there just hit another chord with me. Let's start out, two people meet and they're not balanced, but they have this amazing connection that is extremely high energy. They are not in balance. They're both way, way, way up there. Okay. Then, because this is both way up and it's way above where they're capable of handling it, one decides to make balance. Usually that's the pulling away. And then from there, it ends up being one of these in an attempt to actually find a healthy balance as opposed to the unhealthy balance of being way, way, way up there. Starts out unbalanced, and then it goes to a different style of unbalance. Mm-hmm. And when you finally find the real balance, then you can coexist. Just a thought.
That's like the intensity when you first meet and come, like it's like so intense. It's not a balanced energy. I mean, it's wonderful, like it's super intense, but then at least one person usually pulls away because it's too intense, right? And that's why you pull away, is so that you can find balance within yourself so that you can come back and have it be a nice, comfortable rather than intense. I mean, could you imagine if our relationship was always now as intense as it was when we first met.
There'd be no time for work.
Well, no. That's a whole other story. Don't make me all red.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to make her red. She did that all to herself.
There'd be no time for work. You're funny.
Remember, we met when I was on holidays.
I know. Now, I know we have 2 more questions, but they're big, long questions. Should we save those for another video?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yay.
I was thinking that about 3 or 4 minutes ago, just before the balance conversation.
Brilliant.
I think this is actually a very good place to stop.
Yeah, I
Yes.
agree.
These other 2 questions are quite involved
Yeah.
and very good.
They could be videos all by themselves, I think.
Yep, the 2 of them could.
Yep. So yes, we're going to leave it at that. I know some of you have expressed you love our long videos. And for you, pull out that popcorn and you can, maybe watch a few videos at a time.
Somebody has mentioned popcorn.
Yes, they have. Our popcorn girl. But I know not everybody likes long videos. And especially with these intense energies, people just can't sit that long. We can't hold our energy that long. So we respect that.
It seems to me that in comparison to a year ago, people are more tired. Attention spans are weary.
Yeah.
Maybe in summertime it'll be a little bit better, but for now, a little more respect than ever, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So on that note, I think we're going to say goodnight.
Yeah.
And we'll be back again with more question and answers because we're going to do them more often.
I hope you like the heart.
Yes.
Wait, Bob.
And if you have questions, you can either private message us on our Facebook page. You can respond to this video wherever you're seeing it, YouTube or Facebook, and we'll be glad to answer them. I am answering less and less questions by private message just because I can't keep spending hours of my time every day answering individually. Plus, it's more beneficial if we do videos because then everybody gets to hear the answer rather than just one person. So if you want a question answered in a video, send us a message or however you want to send it to us and we'll be glad to answer it.
Okay.
Yes, so we love you and we will be back soon with more.
That's it?
That's it.
Bye.
Bye.